Good morning. As usual, I've just stopped at Meningi and I've got a coffee which I haven't started drinking yet. And today is Thursday, the 3rd of May 2018, and I'm travelling down to the block at Kingston as usual, but this time with a slight difference. I'm meeting some very long old friends of ours from South Africa, John and Karmen Pemberton. They're coming up from Melbourne, having come across the Bass Strait on the ferry because they live in Hobart, Tasmania, and I'm meeting them at our block in Kingston to show them around. And then tomorrow morning we'll be travelling back together up to Adelaide and spend the weekend in Adelaide. Then I'm going with them to Kangaroo Island for a 3 or 4 day stint. So really looking forward to that. And I'll be filming them down at the block as well, so you'll see their reactions to the block. So take care, see you later, bye. Hi, I'm down at the block. It's 3:30 in the afternoon on the 3rd still, and you can get some idea of the weather if I show you what it looks like. I'm standing under the bird watching platform, and just to give you an idea, you can see the rain's falling. I've just opened up the caravan and it's raining, but fortunately I'm under the bird watching platform, which has a tarpaulin over it, so it's fairly waterproof. So I can sort of hide from the rain and take a bit of footage here just to show you what the weather's like. I'm not going to go up, my camera will get wet, but later on I'll go up and film the sea. It's grey and choppy. So this is the dune here. There the stairs are going up to the bird watching platform. So I've got the newspaper, I'm going to have a cup of coffee. No, I'm not, I'm going to have a soup. And I guess it's going to be a fairly awkward evening with not much outdoor activity. So I'll see you later. John and Karmen due to arrive tomorrow morning before 10, they said. See you later. Just a view of the sea. It's still dripping slightly. It's now 4:22. So the sea's relatively calm actually. It's not that windy, but it's still dripping. But you can see all the green shoots on the plants. They love, as soon as there's a bit of wet, they all come away, shooting away. So there's a lovely light green sort of blush on all of the vegetation, which is gorgeous really. But I'm told by the radio that we're in for a windy, 90 km/h wind gusts. So I'm not looking forward to that. I've just come up here while there's no rain falling, just to show you what the weather's like. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning when John and Karmen arrive. Bye now. So you can see this, well, you can see the moss quite nicely, but can you see this stuff, this dark green, rather repulsive looking stuff? I think it's either an algae or a lichen. Have a close look at it. It's sort of rubbery looking, and you can hear the rufous bristlebirds right nearby. They're so hard to see, but you can hear them. It's a duet. So there's the microcrust, which now will get more and more, and then orchids come up in the middle of the mossy beds. You get, every now and then you get an orchid. It's a bit early for orchids now. This is an African boxthorn, which has been in that position on the top of the dune for at least 30 years, and it's had a major dieback. You can see, we haven't poisoned it or anything, but you can see all of that dead wood there. I'll tell you what, that's covered in vicious spines, so you wouldn't go in there. They are invasive. It's an invasive plant introduced from South Africa, and you can see here is an example of a little red berry just there, and the birds love them, and you can see the white flowers on them. So they're flowering, and they'll be covered in little red berries like that soon. And the birds love them, and then they eat them, and they transport the seeds all over the place. So it's a bit of a problem. But the great thing about them is that they protect small birds, and small reptiles can get in there, and the foxes can't get them. But unfortunately I've noticed now, you can't see them now, but there's several of them over that way there. And I'm starting to be a bit worried because they're not invasive, but you don't want too many on your place. But they are good for small creatures to get a refuge from predators. And if you want to see an example of the spines on them, here's a spine here. I don't know if you can see, get some focus on it maybe. They are viciously sharp, and you can't see that, it's not in focus. But they're covered in those very sharp spines, and there's a dry twig there. So chopping them out is a miserable business. You can see the evening, it's cloudy and the breeze is quite strong. I'm sure you can hear it in the microphone. You might also be able to hear the sea. So, as I said, the wind's going to be picking up this evening. So I'm not looking forward to the rock and roll in the caravan all night. So this is Olearia. It's a daisy bush. It looks a bit like rosemary. And it's in flowers, so it's got this lovely little golden buds on it at the moment, which makes it look gorgeous. And soon it will have little white flowers, and then it gets a sort of a fluffy, like a dandelion, seeds all over it. So that's in bud now, in early winter, which is interesting. Hello, you're on film. Yes. That's pretty, isn't it? And it's lunchtime and we're at Chinaman's Well on the Coorong. John and Karmen travelling in convoy. Having a belated breakfast. I think John's enzymes said no more. So we're going to stop and have a nice lunch. But isn't it beautiful? Look at those clouds. Look at the... I should be standing on the edge of that lake, but it's so pretty.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Just the light, you know. We've just stopped here and then the rain came down.
What colour is that?
So so we're actually... we're at Pelican Point on the Coorong with John and Karmen. And the sun's a bit hideous over that way, but there's the Coorong there. I'll do a bit of a sweep for you. There are normally thousands of pelicans here, but as usual, you know, when you want to show off, pelicans have gone elsewhere. So the vegetation's lovely. We just had a nice sandwich at Chinaman's Well, and we're heading into Meningie now, where there's a surprise for my Tasmanian visitors. We'll see you there. Carmen's buying a fruitcake at the...
Yes, the lady, the code for her is the same code as Matahari.
Absolutely certain of that.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's a good story, it's a good story.
This is, yeah. So John's crazy about Banksias.
Haven't you got your camera?
And there's Banksy. What's the...
Look at that hat here there.
Yes.
What's the name of this one there? I can't read it from here. Pendolorus, what?
Petiolaris.
Petiolaris.
I don't know.
That's pretty. We're in the Pangarinda garden, and well, it's just like, because they're all natives, these are native plants that love sand, but they've been brought from all over the country.
And this is the weirdest thing.
And
these ones are like back to front, the leaves are like back to front.
Right. And of course the birds love it here because they're all these native plants that are flowering. It's a very pretty garden.
Have we got this one?
I don't know, I don't think so. Oh my God.
That's Adenanthos?
Somebody gave us and we put in the down there with the bankers.
Yeah, Adenanthos.
Do you know this one, Mike?
Yeah. Yeah, there's John with his favourite Banksia. John's a Banksia freak.
Yeah, with the Banksia.
And you can see the scale of the flowers as big as his...
And Mike, do you think we've got this one?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Carmen's found her favourite.
Oh, look, there's one there too. Behind.
Hey, it's like California, here we come. I'm recording, yeah. Wellington Hotel. And there's the old courthouse there. And then that's upriver, looking that way, with a bit of clouds for effect. Yeah, you don't see them on their own very often, do you? They've normally got mates with them. There we go, so there's the heading for Wellington over there. That's the old Wellington courthouse.